Every now and again, you get a game that you really enjoy playing, and you enjoy playing it because it's simple, it's straightforward, it's easy to understand, but above all that, you just get really immersed in it. It might be a game about hanging out with your friends, or maybe it's a game about just really hanging out and learning about the atmosphere that you're surrounding yourself with, similar to Flower and Journey. And then sometimes an asteroid just comes in and destroys your entire landscape. And that's what sends you on your journey and starts you out in a game called Ynglet. Ynglet is a $5 indie game both on Steam and itch.io that is absolutely perfectly timed for a lot of the things that are going on in the gaming world right now. I say that because if you've been following the news with that company that will remain unnamed, it's been a lot to digest, it's heavy, it's hard, it is absolutely stressful. But when I was playing this to review it, I caught myself very often just forgetting about all of that, getting immersed, and then remembering, oh yeah, I'm recording, I need to make this for a video. And this game is called Ynglet. You play as your comrade Swooshy Fish. I'm allowed to call it a Swooshy Fish. I got the developer's blessing on that. You play as your comrade Swooshy Fish to figure out why an asteroid blew up your home, but more importantly to go find and rescue your friends. As you can see here, this is a lot of accessibility that we have access to right away. You can change things like movement assistance, your gravity, so if you're having problems actually staying on the levels or traveling through everything, you can slow it down, lower it. You can make it so that you have more hints, more directions are offered to you, but nonetheless, a $5 indie game is doing better accessibility than some AAA games. Yeah, I said it. It's doing better than a lot of AAA games. And again, the entire objective is to travel through levels and find your friends. The thing that you just saw me collect there is just an in-game collectible. They aren't necessary or mandatory in order to complete the game, but they are just something fun that you can grab onto as you're traveling through these levels and learning how to navigate to the end. One of the things I really liked about this is something that the developers themselves have boasted about. This is a puzzle game. It's a puzzle game that doesn't have any platforms. You quite literally are just floating through a lot of minimalistic, simple squares with some gorgeous and really easy to read artwork, bright colors, really engaging sounds and music, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And you're just going to find your friends and finish the boards. It's really nice for how simple and straightforward it is, unless you just watch me fall down a lot, which will happen often, but as you can see, there's no life counter, there's no timers, you're not being pressured or urged to do additional things. The pink line that you just saw around the square is a checkpoint. Literally, if the square that you're sitting in, or the shape I should say you're sitting in, is stable, it counts as a checkpoint. You don't have to worry about, oh, I need to get to the next checkpoint box, or I need to light the next bonfire, or I need to collect so many things. If you just stay still in a box for a few seconds, that's your checkpoint. So the objective is to always save your fishy friends. At least I think they're fish. Everything in this game is a fish to me, and I said what I said. You save your friends. Some of them will guide you to the exit. Other ones will actually reveal different spaces for you to utilize that you otherwise wouldn't be able to see. And you just go to the end of the board and you start the next one. I wanted to take a moment to talk extensively about the way that this makes a lot of variety in the game that I think is really unique. So you would think that something that's really simple like this would just run out of ideas because, oh, it's shapes, it's colors, and you just move around. Okay, cool. Well, as you progress through the game, you'll actually be able to open up an additional move, which is a dash. And the dash really adds a lot of additional gameplay to what you have because, well, the very obvious thing, it allows you to dash. Genius, I know. But also you can start thinking about different ways that you can utilize the dash in the levels to close gaps. Or maybe you can use it to switch up something that you previously couldn't get access to. Maybe you can use it to just be a failsafe. The dash is really simple but has a lot of really great utility. And that's the only move that you need, which is also the only move that you get. You can use the dash to do things like bounce off these wonderful orange barriers, for example. And that was kind of the next thing I was going to lead into. They have a lot of different things that they've implemented that use simple mechanics to give you a lot of variability. You can bounce off the orange bars using just a physics engine to really understand where you're going to go next, and bless them for having an actual bounce mechanic. I hate it when they give you a line but don't show you where the line's going. We're not all like gigabrain about this. You can see here that you're using one of your friends you rescue to reveal missing or hidden pods, and you can use those to travel when you couldn't travel elsewhere. And they even open up different little train stations here, I call them train stations at least, that help you travel around. You also have different types of squares that you interact with. So here you can see ones that will change placement based on how many times you dash. Every time you dash, one will disappear and the other one will appear. When you progress later in the game, there's a similar mechanic where bouncing off of walls causes some of them to appear and then causes other ones to disappear. The popping bubbles that you see right now, I thought were really cool because all the bubbles would spawn on a single scene and they wouldn't reset until you hit a checkpoint. And what that meant was you were allowed to dash so many times before they all disappeared. But I wanted to take a moment to really talk about this music. So I'm not sure if you noticed everything that was going on there, but the music in this game is driven by an algorithm, and every single thing you interact with has a different designated sound that's prompted by your engagements in the game. When you're charging your dash, that's driven by an algorithm. When you're bouncing off of the blue lines, that's driven by an algorithm. Every bubble and every shape has its own algorithm. Certain ones that were pushing you out of grids or maybe shifting when you would do dashes, every single thing has its own designated soundbite, and it's all algorithmic driven. And it's one of the coolest things that I got to witness and hear in the entire game because the entire track has kind of a bass line, and then you're kind of creating the music of the level as you interact with the level. And that's kind of what helped lead to the whole idea of it being like really relaxing, really chill. And again, I really applaud it for not being overly difficult because we're in this weird flux, I feel, where games have to have some certain type of very loud, noticeable, and exuberant difficulty. And Ynglet was a game that was just there wanting to hang out and do cool puzzle things. And here you can actually see in this scene the different squares that are prompted based on whether or not you bounce off of those orange bars I showed you before. Also, if you didn't see it in the captions, this is a brief content warning for flashing lights, blinking, a lot of lightning. This board was cool, but it might be a little bit much on the eyes. I'm not gonna lie. It caught me off guard, and luckily it doesn't cause any problems for me. But if you do decide to pick this game up, when you get to the final level, it is gonna be a lot of really bright lights, which sucks because the design and aesthetic of this board I thought was arguably the coolest. So why do I really like this game? Honestly, I was able to play it amongst some of the worst news the gaming world has seen to date, including things about other companies we've heard about, and I just forgot. I literally just forgot. I just played puzzle games. I just played to get my sushi fish friends, and I wanted to get all the achievements, and I just wanted to complete the puzzles and see where was the sushi fish gonna go next. And I think that that's something really important that we don't see in a lot of games anymore. Well, let me take that back. That's not true. That's not true at all. But it is definitely something that is on the back burner because we're more focused about graphics or infidelity or, that door didn't render or how realistic does this person look. Ynglet's great because it's simple. It's straightforward. It came here to give you a really quick, simple, easy puzzle game, and that's exactly what it did. And I think you should try it. It was really relaxing, really nice, and just a really good way to kill 2 hours of your day. So yeah, that's my review for oh my gosh, I can't say words. That's my review for Ynglet. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hang out with us on Twitch, and I'll see you next time.